Most men walk into a room and immediately vanish. Not because they aren't smart, not because they aren't well-dressed or trying hard, but because they never learned how presence works. They enter fast, smile wide, talk loud. They joke. They explain. They overcompensate. And people respond the way they always do, with polite nods, empty smiles, and forgetfulness. You walk away thinking, what more could I have done? But the truth is, it's not about doing more. It's about doing less, but doing it right. You've seen the opposite. A man walks into a room, says almost nothing, yet somehow he's the center of gravity. He doesn't demand attention, he absorbs it. He owns space without needing permission, and the room naturally shifts around him. You can't quite explain why, but you feel it. That is controlled presence. And today, you're going to learn exactly how to create it. If this already resonates, stay with me. Because at the end, I'll give you a challenge that could completely rewire the way people respond to you. Here's the hard truth. Every room you walk into has a hidden hierarchy. People instantly start placing each other on invisible ladders. Top, middle, bottom. It happens in seconds, and you're being judged not by what you say, but how you move, how you stand, how you hold eye contact, how you respond to silence. This is primal, subconscious. It's the same ancient instinct that told our ancestors who to follow and who to ignore. Now in modern life, it looks more civilized, but the instincts are unchanged. The guy who rushes in, speaks quickly, laughs nervously, apologizes for interrupting, he's unconsciously signaling lower rank. The guy who enters slowly, surveys the room without a word, takes his time before speaking, he doesn't just suggest confidence, he embodies it, and people feel it. Before you speak a word, you've already been placed. And moving up from there is 1,000 times harder than getting it right from the start. Stick with me, because in a few minutes, I'll show you how to flip that script before you even speak. The average man thinks, if I just sound smart, people will listen. So he fills the air with facts, stories, details. He explains, he rationalizes, he shows off what he knows. But here's what he doesn't realize. The more you talk, the more value your words lose. And the faster you talk, the more insecurity you project. It's a paradox. The more effort you put into being heard, the less power you seem to have. Because power isn't loud. Power is still. Power is calm. Power waits. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were drawn to a person who seemed desperate for approval? How did you respond to someone who explained every action they took? Now think about someone who barely spoke, yet their presence filled the room. They didn't convince. They didn't perform. They just were. And that was enough. That's what we're building here. And if you've ever felt invisible, even while trying your hardest, then you need what S coming next. Stillness is one of the most powerful social signals there is. In nature, the dominant animal never moves first. It watches, it waits, it saves energy. That's not weakness. That's control. In human behavior, the principle is the same. Watch any boardroom, any dinner party, any leadership circle. The person fidgeting, reacting, constantly adjusting, they're not the one others defer to. The one who's still, who's quiet, who speaks only when needed, becomes the one everyone else reacts to. Stillness says, I'm not desperate, I don't chase, I don't need validation. Stillness says, I'm listening, and I'm calculating. And because stillness is so rare in a world of constant motion, it becomes magnetic. People want to know what you're thinking. They lean in when you speak. They feel tension in your pauses. That's the leverage we're building. If this is clicking with you, stay with me. Because this gets even more powerful when we add one simple move. The pause. Let's go deeper into the pause. The pause is not empty space. It's loaded. When used right, the pause is a trigger. It activates curiosity, discomfort, anticipation. And anticipation is attention. Think of a movie scene where a character pauses right before delivering their line. Think of a TED Talk where the speaker stops talking and the room goes silent. You lean forward, you wait, you listen. That's what the pause does. Now imagine bringing that same energy into a job interview, into a negotiation, into a first date, into a boardroom. You speak. You pause. You let the silence sit. They don't know what's coming next, so they pay closer attention. They fill the space with respect. And it's not manipulation. It's leadership. You're telling the room, I set the rhythm. I control the flow. And guess what? They follow. Let me give you a real-world example. A company was hiring a new VP. They interviewed 10 people. 9 of them had degrees, credentials, experience. They came in with presentations, charts, bullet points, case studies. They talked fast. They explained everything. But one guy was different. He walked in slowly. No slides, no notes. He sat down. He smiled once. And when they asked him the first question, he didn't answer immediately. He waited, held eye contact, then said just one sentence. And then he paused again. The energy shifted. Interviewers leaned forward. They felt something different. They didn't even understand why. That man got the job. Not because he said more, but because every word he spoke felt 10 times more valuable. Because he controlled the space. That's the kind of presence that doesn't just land jobs, it changes lives. So how do you build this into your life? It starts small. First, slow your walk. Stop rushing through hallways. When you enter a space, move like the space is adjusting to you. Second, own your posture. Stand straight, feet grounded, chin neutral, shoulders relaxed, hands still. You don't need to pose. You just need to not collapse. Third, train your silence. Next time someone asks you something, pause. Just for 2 seconds. Don't fill the gap. Don't fidget. Don't blink it away. Just hold the space. Then speak. Slowly. Deliberately. With full stops. With weight. Fourth, reduce your words. Speak to create impact, not to prove intelligence. One sentence spoken with precision is worth more than 5 minutes of justification. And finally, make this your standard. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce your presence. At work, in relationships, with strangers, with friends. Let people get used to the new rhythm, the one where you set the pace. Something incredible starts to happen when you do this consistently. People start treating you differently. They give you more space. They listen longer. They respond with more care. Even in conflict, you'll notice something strange. While others raise their voices, you stay calm. While others scramble for control, you wait. And in waiting, you win. Because stillness disrupts chaos. And the one who disrupts chaos becomes the anchor of the room. You'll find that your opinions carry more weight, even if they haven't changed. Your ideas get more credit, even if they're not new. Your presence becomes a force, not because of what you say, but because of what you don't. This is no longer about being liked. It's about being felt. So here's your challenge. For the next 7 days, every time you speak, pause first. When you walk into a room, slow down. When silence shows up, don't rush to fill it. Let it stretch. Let it do the work for you. Then watch. Watch how people start adjusting to your energy. Watch how tension works in your favor. Watch how conversations start to revolve around you without effort. This isn't about dominance. It's about direction. It's not about being feared. It's about being respected. And it's not about pretending to be powerful. It's about revealing the power you already had the whole time. Because the truth is, you don't need to yell to be heard. You don't need to explain to be valid. And you don't need to prove anything to anyone. You just need to pause. So the next time you walk into a room, ask yourself, am I chasing energy? Or am I setting the rhythm? The choice is yours. If you felt even one moment in this video that made you rethink how you show up, don't just sit on it. Try this for 7 days. And then come back here. Tell me in the comments, did you feel the shift? Did they treat you differently? If this resonated, hit that like button. Subscribe for more tools like this. Because this is just the beginning. Power isn't given, it's taken. And the first move is the pause.